What's up, guys? So, I want to do something a little bit, well, not different, a little different, I guess, for the video, and talk to you guys about a bit of my experience and some of the things I found to be difficult, some of the things that I've learned to overcome, and some of the things that I've gone through and I've been going through. So, I'm hoping whatever the title is for the video kind of explains this, guys, to you, but we'll see. I think one thing I recently learned, not even recently, but I'd say a couple months ago, has been part of the difficulties I faced with wanting things out of life. At some point, I remember having a nightmare and waking up really freaked out, really terrified, really scared. And when I had the nightmare was about me not getting any of the things I always kept saying I would get, right? A nightmare where all the things I wanted to get out of life and the stuff I said I was going to do and the success I said I was going to gain and all those things never happened. So I always said to people, whenever anyone asks me what my biggest fear is, it's always, for a long time now, it's been unfulfilled potential. But I guess I never understood how big of a fear it really was. And that's where the giant intensity and shock of this nightmare came in. And I began asking myself whether this has all been worth it and whether it's a blessing or a curse to actually want more out of life. And in a lot of ways, I think it's a curse. Because life's a lot easier when you don't want more. Life's a lot easier when you can be happy with what you have. And you can be, and I'm not saying I'm not grateful, but you can be completely fulfilled and grateful with all the things you were just given and a really normal day-to-day life. And I know people like this. That's the thing. And they're not unhappy. But I would be exceptionally unhappy living their lives. And it kind of sucks because sometimes I think maybe it would be nicer to be like that, right? I mean, isn't it a lot easier to just leave good enough as good enough and be so satisfied with things being as is, right? Having a decent body, going to gym 3 times a week, but that's it. Not trying to necessarily increase your income, making what you make, living from what you make, hoping for promotion and a pay increase every year, every second year at the company you work at. And I thought, damn, couldn't you just sit there and enjoy the sound of that and be like, wow, simple life. Go on holiday every once in a while, spend your money on leisure, and be happy. And this is where it comes in, right? This is where it really starts to suck because you have two sides. You have self-improvement and you have self-acceptance. And these are two really clashing ideas. And it sucks because you can't improve unless on some level you don't accept how you are as a start. Now, over time you do, and this is a big problem with self-improvement. It's a terrible problem with self-improvement, that in essence, to self-improve, it means you need to optimize a paradigm. To optimize that paradigm means to believe that where you are is not good enough. But the minute you believe where you are isn't good enough, you stop accepting yourself. And maybe you shouldn't accept yourself. Maybe you're horrible, evil, wretched, and you're just a bum. And maybe accepting yourself is not what you need. But then what happens is you change. You change these things, you change these parts of your life, you become a different person, and you fix all these things. But now you've learned how to self-improve. And the problem is now that you've become much better, when do you become satisfied? And that's the problem I ran into. I thought that maybe life would be easier if I didn't want as much. Because I wouldn't have nightmares about it. I wouldn't freak out that I'm not getting there quickly enough. I'm not working hard enough. Because all you end up feeling, right? And this is the experience I live, right? I'm being very candid, really honest with you guys. The experience I live is that every day I feel like I'm not doing enough. Every day I feel like I didn't work hard enough. I didn't diet well enough. I didn't do enough cardio. I didn't train hard enough. I didn't work enough on the channel. I didn't give enough at work when I was making calls and I was booking appointments and I was on that discovery call. I could have done this better. On that proposal, I could have done this better. I could have made, instead of making 85 calls, I could have made 105 calls. It never feels like I've done enough. And that stems from the desire of wanting to be the best version of myself. And that's the pain that comes with that. And the very painful burden that comes with that, because life is a lot easier when you're satisfied with who you are. Life is a lot easier when you're satisfied with kind of the norms that you get given. I have a good job, guys. I have a good job. I really do love it. I love my job very much. It's a really great place. But I know it's not the end. And I know there's more for me. But there's a lot of people who would be happy with that job. You know, a lot of people. There's a lot of people who are happy going to an hour and a half and don't have to go for 4 hours like I do. There's a lot of people, it's just way better for them like that. But that's not my life. And I remember being frustrated after the stream, thinking, okay, I don't know what to do now. I prayed about it. And then I thought, okay, I'm going to talk to a pastor about it. Pastor in my church isn't the type of person who can understand this problem. So I thought, I'm going to talk to the pastor of this other church. I know he's very similar to me. He seems really big, really huge. Like, maybe I should ask him, what do you do about this blessing / curse? Like, why does God give you this? Like, why? Why would you, why do I have this? Why did he have to give me this thing to just one more in life? Because it would be a lot easier if I didn't. I spent a lot of money on bodybuilding, and I'm starting to spend a lot of money on this channel, and I'm starting to spend a lot of money on other goals in my life. All right, but I could be going on holiday. I could get a new car. I could help out my mom more. I could have way more experiences. And I remember having a very serious conversation with a very close friend of mine, and we're still close. This guy's one of my ride or die friends, and he was inviting me to Cape Town, as he does. Because he likes to do things. He likes to go out. He likes to go on trips and stuff. He's still hardworking. He goes to the gym. He has a good career, but he's not. We have a slightly different perception of life, right? And I remember talking to him and saying, he invited me to Cape Town one time, and I said, cool, bro, I can't come, right? And he assumed I was going to come, and he asked me, he's like, I know you probably will say no. So I sat down, I didn't sit down, so I'm on the phone with him and say, you watch the channel, so my friend called, and I said to my friend, call, this is where we're slightly different here, is I do not value experiences. That's not true, though. I do value experiences, but I value achievement way more. The experience of winning at something and achieving success means more to me than the experience of going on a trip or being able to spend every Saturday watching movies, going to arcades, going to this place, going to that place. That's just how I've been wired now, right? And my little brother's like this, and my little brother's worse. He thinks I'm frivolous and I waste time going out to eat ramen. Like, he thinks what I do is an absolute waste of time, and he works all the time. Worse than me, because he's introverted. I'm extroverted, so I do need to speak to people. But he doesn't need that, so he'll just sit and work through a weekend, 2 days, months. You won't see anybody. And that's kind of how both of us are quite wired. It's just, they just don't value the experience of going out and doing these fun things. And a lot of people value these things. But then you find out, when I remember having this chat with him, and I tried to explain to him that I don't care about these things. And sometimes I wish I did. Because you can't have it all at the same time. So you got to pick something, right? You guys watched the previous video on sacrifice. You got to pick something, and something's going to give at some point. When I started training, and I used to go out all the time with my friends, the going out had to give. It had to give, right? And I couldn't see them as much as I wanted to. I couldn't be around them as much as I wanted to, because if you go out, there's food there, and if there's food will take off your diet. Now there's a problem. So I learned very quickly that you got to choose what you're gonna have and what you're not gonna have. So I mean, back to kind of where we started, right? This painful kind of gift / curse of wanting more out of life slowly eats away at you in a way, because you keep fighting for it, and you keep questioning whether it was even worth it to be given this desire out of life. Because there's been many times where I've questioned, should I just be satisfied? Should I just be happy with what I have? And it doesn't help that as a kid, when me and my little brother discovered self-development, we plunged headfirst into Grant Cardone's content, especially a book called Be Obsessed or Be Average. And that book's amazing. But when you're 16 and you're impressionable and you hear a book like that, and Grant's on the jet doing this on the jet. So he's doing on the jet, and you see that's the picture in the front of the book, and you, damn, I also want a jet. Jeez, I also want the cars and stuff. Damn, you know what I mean? Like, you start to think, like, geez, it'd be so much more fun to go out with my friends than want that. Because when you sleep at night, when you're chilling, when you're watching movies, when you're resting with your partner and just relaxing, it's ticking in the back of your mind that you're not doing well enough. We found Gary Vee very early. We found Gary Vee very early, and we learned that, okay, cool, hustle. So we hustled, we worked hard. Me and my little brother worked hard, and we keep working, and then you keep thinking, when am I going to do it? When is it going to finally work? Like, when am I going to finally be there? It takes most people only make it at 40 or 50. I'm trying to make it before 30 in some ways, and it's like, wow, is that really possible? I don't know. People are doing it. There's a lot of people doing it, so it's definitely possible. I just need to find out how I'm going to do it. But when you're resting, you're relaxing, it just ticks in the back of your mind. Like someone just knocking away on your mind the whole time. You could be working now. You could be working towards your goals. Why are you wasting time? Why are you sitting around? You deserve to chill. You deserve to relax. And that, guys, is what ends up creating anxiety in people who want to be successful. And that's what ended up happening to me. I end up having issues with anxiety over time, because then you find out, wow, I should be doing more. I could be doing better. And every time you try to rest and you close your eyes, right? Because anxiety is just an overactive mind that just keeps running the whole time. Now, when that desire for success is very deep-seated, your mind is running in circles, and those circles are constantly telling you why you should be doing more, why you should be doing better, why you should be working harder, why you shouldn't be relaxing. So when you finally take a deep breath to relax, it starts ticking again, and you find yourself in a state of anxiety. And I had this before many times. Why I could be working instead of sleeping. Okay? And that's still the case now. I'll be honest with you, that's the case now. I sleep because of bodybuilding. I got very comfortable running on 4 hours of sleep. And then when I eventually, somewhere in 2021, I developed insomnia at some stage, and all I did was work. I couldn't sleep. What else am I going to do? Might as well work, use the time effectively. But I wouldn't sleep. I see sleep as a massive waste of time, and it isn't. Like, from a health standpoint and a mental health standpoint, sleep is not a waste of time. You should sleep, guys. You should get a good 8 hours of sleep. And I'll be honest with you, if I wasn't a bodybuilder, I wouldn't be getting 8 hours of sleep right now. I'd definitely be running on 4 every single day, and then get 8 hours of sleep maybe once a week. And that's how I'd be going, right? So, I mean, your mind just never rests when you're like this, because you develop this deep pain that keeps running after you. Like your dark side is always hungry at night. Tim Grover talks about this in the book Winning, where he speaks about how the dark side, it's like you sleep and you lie down and you just hear voices telling you that you know, and you're not good enough. You need to do harder. You have to work harder. You have to do more. You have to put in more hours. You don't deserve to rest. Why are you relaxing? And it becomes a curse. So I find myself many times asking, is it worth it? Should I have chosen to be a bodybuilder versus doing something else? Should I have chosen to want to be successful? Should I have just chosen one or the other? Because wanting both is not easy. It's not easy. I chose not to get into things like personal training and all that stuff because I wanted massive business success, right? When I saw the most successful people in the world, they were businessmen. They weren't fitness people, they were businessmen. And that's where I wanted to go. I wanted to really make it like to the top. And if you're going to go to there, you realize, okay, cool, these guys run businesses, really solid, strong, powerful businesses. And they're usually they're selling some form of product, and they're selling an offer, and sometimes it could be related to things like gym and stuff like that. But when I was younger, and many people asked me about things like personal training and stuff like that, one, I didn't have the passion for it, but two, I thought, okay, well, I need to choose something that's going to really take me there. And that's how I ended up in sales over time. But I guess the whole point of the video is that I want to share with you guys that, firstly, being anxious is okay, and that you're going to be anxious about wanting things. And secondly, that wanting a lot out of life is painful. So take it a bit easier on yourself, because it is difficult. Because when you've been given this thing, and some people develop it, some people are born with it. When you get given this thing in your heart about I want more, I want to live a life that I can't fathom it. My imagination could not draw up a life like that. And you gotta pick something, right? I mean, as a kid, I want to be a Super Saiyan. It's only so practical that's gonna go. Like there's only so much you can do to become a Super Saiyan. So then the next best thing is like become Grant Cardone, right? Like be at that level, be super ultra massively successful, right? So I thought, okay, cool. If that's what I want to do, what's that going to take? And it's like, is that even worth having? When that thing gets planted in you, take it a bit easy on yourself, guys, because it ain't so easy to have that. They know, but a lot of people don't understand it. The people you say no to, the friends you don't see, the family you don't see, they don't understand it and they don't always get it, and it's going to really hurt your heart to tell them no. So take it easy on yourself when you do that. There's something you've been given as a gift from God that you should cherish, right? Something you were born with, something you developed over time because of the difficulties you faced, that is naturally going to put you in a lot of pain. It's going to require a lot of impulse control. It's going to require that you have certain degrees of insecurity and certain degrees of definitely not feeling like you're ever good enough, because if you believe it fully, if you believe that you're good enough to 100%, let's say, you'd stop working, wouldn't you? And over time, you learn how to accept yourself and still improve, but that takes time. And in the beginning, that's not what you use. In the beginning, the motivation is, please ignore the dogs, guys. There's some dogs really going at it. They're very small and cute, though. They're adorable dogs. That's the point. The point is that it's difficult. Take it easy on yourself, and you're gonna freak out. And my biggest fear still remains unfulfilled potential. My biggest fear still remains not making it one day, because a part of that fear isn't the only thing that drives me. Right? I got a lot of motivations: retire my mom, take care of the dogs. They show the dogs. They're so tiny and they're so loud. I really appreciate that. So yeah, I mean, I got other goals, right? I got a nephew. I wanna help him have a good life. I got a little brother. I wanna show him how we can make it, right? I wanna move out of South Africa by next year. I got a lot of other things, a lot of other motivations, guys, and I think they're done now. Nope, they're not done. I think they're still going. That's cool. A lot of motivations, a lot of other things I want to do out of life, and a lot of other things that are pushing me and driving me. But I can definitely say that fear is one of them. And fear of not reaching that potential, that still scares me today. And I think it's good that it's there. It shouldn't overpower me. It shouldn't overpower your life either. But it's something that if you have it, appreciate it. Understand that it's a part of the process to be scared to not make it. It's part of the process to be so hungry for success that it hurts you a little bit, because wanting a lot out of life is painful, because life can be a lot easier when you want less, because you can be happier with less. Your bar for what would make your life a good life, what you define as a complete life, is a lot lower. And that's fine for people like that. But if you're not like that, if you want a little more out of life, if you want to reach and it's painful to reach, it hurts your arms and it hurts your heart every time that every year that goes by that you're not there, it hurts. It's okay. Make peace with it. Be okay with it. Be okay with the fact that it hurts, because that hurt is the thing that's partly going to drive you. And accept that it takes time. And it takes a long time. The more you learn about success, the more you realize it really does take a long time. And I have people who look at me and think I've made it in a lot of ways. And I have people I look at and I think I've done nothing since I turned 18. I've wasted my time. I have people I look at like that. When I look at them, I just think, wow, what have I been doing the last 7 years? I've really been taking a piss at life, eh? All this hard work makes you feel like you've done nothing with that time. That's fine too. You need a bit of both. Your journey is yours. Take it a step at a time. Be patient with yourself, because God knows you deserve a bit of the grace from yourself. And when you're anxious and scared that maybe it's not working out, ooh, are you okay? You okay? Did it bite you?
Yeah.
Do you want to pause and start again?
Okay.
Keep going, cut it out.
Yeah. Oh my god.
So guys, the videographer just got bit by something, but we're going to go check an injury out soon, so the video's gonna end. But point is, when you're anxious and scared about the things that just aren't working, and you're not making it, and your friends look like their lives are so much better than yours, they may have areas in life that they envy you in, and you never think about that. And I had a friend say that to me. He said it's not all about just money. There's other things. So take your time. Be patient. I mean, I'm one thing I'm glad I learned from Gary Vee is also that, right? He kept saying how much time it takes. How you have to understand that you're just not everyone's gonna make it at 20, 21. Some people make it at 19. Damn. All right. We were watching a video of Tyler yesterday receiving her Grammy at 22 years old, and this girl was growing up right here, and it's like, whoa, that's so insane. And then you sit there and think, I mean, if you want to be successful, you think this, because it's easy to detach yourself when you don't want it from that person's different. They have some special gift, and they cut from a different cloth. But when you realize that nobody is cut from a different cloth, when you've improved yourself and taken areas of your life that you were horrible at and surpassed people who are naturally better than you, you understand that nobody is cut from a different cloth. You may be given integral different parts of yourself that are slightly stronger here and inclinations that are slightly weaker there, but no one's cut from a different cloth. And when you realize that, and you see someone make it your age from the same soil as you, then it hits you right in the chest, and you think, whoa, what am I doing? So take it easy, take a deep breath, and understand your journey is yours. Focus on it every day. Put the anxiety at bay. Set it aside sometimes. Be willing to take a deep breath and watch a movie. Put your feet up once in a while. And accept that part of wanting success is fear, pain, and anxiety, and that self-improvement and self-acceptance within you are always going to have a clash. And just accept both the blessing and the curse that you received of wanting more out of life, because it's what I'm trying to do. So I hope you guys can do that with me and learn to accept that it is a blessing, and it's also a really painful curse, and it's okay.
Woo!
Hopefully that one is actually long form. Are you okay? 22 minutes.